Mark Tatum, Deputy Commissioner and COO of the National Basketball Association.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you all.
Dr. Richard Lapchick, thanks for being with us here on R&R on Sports.
Thank you for having me.
Civil rights icon, Dr. Edwards, how are you today?
I'm doing a heck of a lot better than I deserve, I'll tell you that.
Sports commentator, Scoop Jackson.
Good to be back on with you all.
Ian Griffey Jr., how are you today, sir?
I'm good. How about you guys?
It's R&R on Sports.
R&R on Sports. R&R on
Hello, y'all, and welcome to R&R on Sports. I am Howard Robertson.
And I am the fantastic one, Larry Robinson. What's up, brother?
Going good, man.
Man, what does R&R stand for?
R&R stands for
Rest and relaxation?
that too.
Robertson and Robinson?
That too.
Ricky and Robert?
What's that? New edition?
I don't know. Ricky, Robbie, Mobby, and Mike. What's happening, brother?
Yeah, stands for one of the best, most unique sports shows ever.
Hey, man, listen.
Hey,
go to
that's
your
what it stands
podcast
for.
provider if you miss any part of this. I just want to hear us again.
Highly entertaining.
Go to Spotify, Apple, any of them. TuneIn app, Stitcher, Pandora, all of them.
Acme.
Check it
all
out.
of
Check it out.
Come
man.
on.
Just check it out. So listen, man, what you
Yeah.
get into this weekend, man?
I had a lot of family stuff, and as well as the holidays, had a death in the family, so you know how that is.
Right.
In a funeral, everybody knows how. Been through that. But I mean, it was all good. It was good seeing everybody. Wasn't no drama. Didn't nobody show up and say, she wanted me to have that. She told me she wanted me to have a house.
Didn't nobody bring potato salad with raisins in it or nothing like that?
No. Oh, no. Not in this family. You show up. Oh, my God. You will get physically
Body
accosted.
slam.
Yeah, you get body slam. Pimp slap.
You watch any sports?
Yeah, I watch some sports. I watch some
football. What has really stood out to you, I guess, over these last few weeks as it relates to professional sports? We coming out of baseball, moving into football, basketball, so on and so forth.
Well, I am watching. Things are more competitive. I'm seeing games that are more competitive and going down to the wire. So I think, I don't know, I guess it's in terms of skill level, teams are closer together and all of that. But I'm going to tell you something else I'm seeing. I am seeing what I will call a fundamental breakdown. I'm seeing kickers miss chip shots that they never would before. I'm seeing balls being mishandled. A punt return that you should have just waved and for a fair catch, and you're fumbling that. I'm seeing a ton of fumbles. Oh my Lord!
It's a lot of fun.
Even in basketball, I'm seeing turnovers. I'm seeing fundamental errors that I don't think I've seen as much of in the past.
Well, you know what's interesting to me, and
Is it me? What do you think?
I think
Is it me?
I think you're definitely right, but I think these rule committees have changed up the game to an extent. So let's take the NBA. So you had all these players that do the kicking out of their leg when they shoot a shot, trying to draw fouls and those things. The referees, they're not calling that stuff anymore. And I think a lot of the players are having challenges because James Harden's not getting 25 free throws. Stephen Curry's not getting 15 to 20 free throws. All those players that are used to getting multiple free throws are just the exorbitant amount of free throws are having problems because they're not getting that extra padding. So, and then on the NFL side,
but that's called competition. That's called life.
But competition. But
when
hold
you
on.
abuse
Let me finish. I agree
All
with that. But I look at the extra points. They move that joker back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
To me, I think that's excellent because it allows more room for error. And so what I will do is give give the competition committees kudos for making the necessary adjustments to make the game more have more parity in the league. So like for the first time, you don't know who's going to win the NFL, a Super Bowl, and you don't know who's going to win the NBA championship. And I like it like that.
All right. I like it like that. You are listening to R&R on Sports, and we appreciate it. We're going to be back for much more. We just getting started, y'all. We got so much more stuff. Y'all be with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yo, this your boy Chris Brown.
David West of the Golden State Warriors. Hey, this is Dr. J.
This is Shaq Adocious.
Yo, what's up? This is Ice Cube.
And you're listening to a little R&R on sports.
Riffin' on jazz.
So all the artists today must be ladies.
Must be.
Oh, my favorite.
You got a problem?
No, that's my favorite.
See, I knew.
Riffin' on jazz on the Kazookian Network.
Thanks for calling the 3 Wishes hotline, where your wish is our command. Get 3 wishes for only $3,000. This is Gina speaking, and what are your wishes today?
Yo, what up? I need to get 3 wishes granted.
That's what I'm here for, man. Get 3 in the can for only $3,000.
I wish the Denver Broncos practice squad hadn't got paid before Super Bowl week. Because then, I wouldn't have that little situation I had and stuff. I wish that girl hadn't have been so damn fine. She had that Serena body. It was like, pow, pow. I wish I still got my Super Bowl ring, so I can show my boys and stuff back at the crib.
Oh, you no get no sue from Peyton. All right, I scratch out payday like it never happened. That girl is now skinny, ugly, with bad skin and breath, and you'll get a Super Bowl ring. Now, it might be from Super Bowl 5 instead of 50, but it beats nothing. That'll be 3Gs. Now, what's the name on your credit card?
I ain't got no credit card yet, but the name on my EBT card is Ryan. R. Murphy.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Thanks for calling the 3 Wishes hotline, where your wishes are command. Get 3 wishes for only $3,000. This is Ginny speaking, and what are your wishes today?
Shalom. I want my 3 wishes granted immediately.
Well, all right, mister. Have no fears. Your wishes are granted when your payment clears.
They better be. Number 1, I want the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wish they'd lose every game from now on.
To the end of the season?
Hell no. Forever. Number 2, I wish that little scraggly hair on LeBron's head to fall out all over the floor, even the implants. I want him to go through his life ball as a cue ball so everybody can see that lopsided head he's been trying to hide. And number 3, I wish all the players and everybody in the Cavs front office would immediately experience severe male member shrinkage.
Oh, my severe?
Damn right.
Oh, we talking small?
Tiny.
Like Pee-wee jockstrap?
Nah, like a Band-Aid.
All right, the Cavs is going 0 and forever. LeBron hair is out. Shrinkage is underway. That'll be 3Gs. Now, what's the name on your credit card?
It's D. Blatt.
Okay, Mr. B. Fat.
I said D. Blatt. D-B-L-A-T-T. You dumb.
Oh, all right, Mr. Blatt. I'm so sorry. Your payment has been processed. Wishes have been granted. And now I need you to do me one more thing.
What is it?
Unzip your pants and have a squint. But let me tell you this little hint. The next time you try to please her, you're going to need a magnifying glass and some tweezers.
Oh, God, where did it go?
Who's the bitch now, Blatt?
Blues in the basement.
Professor, you came up with this. I love this double dose. We're going to have the Dr. John in the double dose.
I don't care if you're young or old.
Blues in the basement.
Get together, let the good time roll.
Part of the Kazookian Network.
R&R on Sports on the Kazookian Network.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. We are we're talking about whatever we want to. And whatsoever we want to. And I think Larry Robinson want to talk about a little NBA and particularly talk about these Warriors.
So let me give you a little bit of a story here. So early in the preseason, I get a call. I get a call from one of my boys, P. Wagner. Shout out to Pat Wagner in Louisville, Kentucky. He calls me and says, "Hey man, I'm watching this Golden State Warriors team, and man, when I think about Klay Thompson coming back, and I think about James Wiseman, they gonna be hard to beat." And this was before the season. I'm like, man, listen, this is the preseason. Ain't nobody playing hard. So now we about 20, 30 games in the season,
right?
And man, I'm telling you, Steph Curry
are both of them back?
Draymond Green, no, they're not back.
Nope.
And they are balling. I mean, Golden State is balling out of control, but the team that no one's talking about is the Phoenix Suns. But we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors, but the Phoenix Suns, they are talking about them, but not for what they're doing on the court. It's what they dine, they're crazy dine, what is it, Sarver, owner, their owner doing dumb stuff, but we ain't going to get into that. But nevertheless, the Warriors, what do you see? And I know they're one of your favorite teams.
Yeah.
Do you honestly see them as the team to beat in the West?
I do.
Really?
I do. Yes. They are. Well, I think what's happening is the performance level is high. The confidence level is higher.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And that means everything, man.
But it's a team of shooters, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got Jordan Poole, you got Damian Lee. I mean, you got these boys are raining jumpers from all over the place.
The ball
and Wiggins
in the hole at will. My granddaughter is playing middle school girls basketball for the first time, and she's the point guard. They played Bellevue.
Okay.
They played Bellevue, and Bellevue beat them like they stole something. When I came in, it was like 30-4.
Okay.
And it's not because they handle the ball better. It's not because they bring the ball down the floor better. It's not because they do anything else better than shoot.
Well, it sounds like they did a whole lot of things.
They shot the ball.
Well, you do have something called defense. And I don't think that's all that the Warriors are doing. It's playing amazing. It's shooting the ball excellently, which Stephen Curry's breaking every record known to man. There's no telling where he's going to end up.
He's just having fun and toying with everything.
But beyond that, I think what you have is the defense that Golden State is playing.
Yeah.
I don't think they get a lot of respect outside of Draymond Green, and now every now and then Looney gets a little love, and then Klay Thompson, when he was healthy, would get love. But outside of that, they didn't have any defensive stoppers. But now you got Andrew Wiggins, who's a freakish athlete, playing alongside Looney, playing alongside Draymond Green. And once again, you're going to have James Wiseman and Klay Thompson coming back. So I'm looking at this thing, man. The Warriors could really be something special. But beyond them, I got to switch gears to Phoenix Suns, because I think this might be Chris Paul's greatest demonstration of leadership and play overall.
You think he's got a chip on his shoulder from last year?
He should, because he choked last year. He choked at the end last year, and they were expecting him to take him to promised land. But I say this, and Chris Paul always plays an excellent season. I know he won't be truly evaluated until he gets to the playoffs. But I can say, with him changing his diet, becoming vegan, he's been healthier and everything else. So what I'm looking for is Chris Paul to really take his team to the promised land this year. Right. But you still got those Lakers out there.
Now, well, and speaking of the Lakers, we haven't had this conversation before. So talk about what you think of LeBron and the elbow situation. If he lost, did he lose any cool points in your book?
No, I thought it was.
Do you think it was intentional or totally accidental?
I thought it was incidental. From a standpoint of, you had the young man Isaiah Stewart really pushing him into the ribs to clear him out. I think he was doing, LeBron was doing what he said, the swim move, where you just kind of you take your arm and kind of move the other person as you hit them in the crease of their arm and move their arm away from you. And just so happened, man, homeboy's face was leaning in there. It ain't like LeBron's a little dude. and he just caught one of them. I mean, you catch an elbow across the bridge of your eye, you're gonna be bleeding. I mean, you see that in fights, in boxing matches all the time.
Absolutely.
You don't have much, cushion right there, and that's a pretty sharp bone there. So when you get that hit and it rubbed that real vigorously, you're gonna almost automatically.
But what a whole ugly incident. I mean, because this kid.
What I saw LeBron doing is trying to apologize, hey man, I'm sorry, but this kid, he literally saw red. And tasted a little blood, got a little blood in his eye. He was raring to go with that.
It was like rage that you don't see, and in a lot of ways
it seemed forced and faked to me.
Oh, really?
It seemed forced and faked.
Really?
Ain't nobody fighting on no NBA court. Ain't nobody fighting on no NBA court.
So you think that was front? You think that was front?
I think it was one of them.
I mean, he was that aggressive because he knew somebody was going to hold him.
Wait a minute, hold on. LeBron was standing right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, true enough, the blood hadn't started flowing to the extent that it had at when he started acting a fool. But at the end of the day, you ain't gonna run up on no LeBron. You ain't running up on no LeBron. You might be mad and all that stuff, but you ain't running up. You ain't crazy. You might be a little loony, but you ain't crazy. That's for sure. Quick question.
Oh, yes.
Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
And the Nets. Do you think the Nets can win the championship without Kyrie Irving?
No.
Really? Do you think they can win with Kyrie Irving?
No.
Okay. Well, you right there with me. Why do you say that?
Well, I don't think they don't think they have a championship pedigree and blend, if you will. And I think that Kyrie's situation. I think his situation has caused some undue dissent. Everybody is not riding on his wagon with regard to that he plays with.
Mm-hmm.
And in any work environment, when you have dissension among employees, you don't have a winning team.
Well, I can tell you at Kadzukian, for one thing, is that, we look at each other from a standpoint of accountability and trust.
Mm-hmm.
And so we maintain a high integrity. And what I believe is happening is that he's totally damaged his career forever.
Totally.
He and Ben Simmons, I think they're going to have a really hard time going forward because I think they have damaged their credibility beyond repair. Kyrie Irving, I think people are going to always look at him with a side eye and consider him to be a loose cannon. Ben Simmons, I think people just going to automatically think you're crazy out of your mind. And the fact that literally you didn't play well. That was incumbent upon you to get better, not the team. It was you that failed. You were the systematic fail. You are the weakest link type of deal. So
goodbye. That's the
goodbye.
That's the next part of
right.
But
the goodbye is who wants that damaged good? Who wants somebody who's going to literally quit on their team? Quit.
Hey.
So
should have thought about that. He should have thought about that. They should have thought about that. But hey, well,
listen, we got an amazing next segment on the other side of this street talk. So listen, we got folks out of DC, we got folks out of Philly, and folks out of Virginia.
Tell them that later.
All right.
Tell them that. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more on our own sports after this.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more on our own sports right after this.
Like you 8 years old.
Blues in the basement.
Professor, you came up with this. I love this double dose. We're going to have the Dr. John in the double dose.
I don't care if you're young or old.
Blues in the basement.
Get together, let the good time roll.
Part of the Kadzukian Network.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. Oh, boy, there he is.
Listen, man, don't be hating on me, man. I hate the fact that you hate.
Why don't you at least try to do it in another octave or something? Why you gotta be such a girl about it? Smokey
you don't like my
Robinson
you don't
today.
like my
Hey,
soprano, man.
falsetto.
You know,
You can't do it. Back to R&R on sports and a wonderful segment that we absolutely positively love to do.
What's it called?
It's called Street Talk.
And what's it about?
It's about the street.
The street. It's like straight up out the street.
Yeah, straight
Well,
up.
we got
people that are straight up out the street.
out the street all over the country.
Some of them from the street.
The street. All right. Well, first we got to go with the young lady from the undefeated, from Memphis, Tennessee, but residing in the Washington D.C. DMV area.
Kelly May.
We got Miss Kelly
Hey,
May
y'all. Hey now.
Evans. What's up, Kelly?
What's up? What it do, y'all?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
It's been a long time.
I
It has
know,
been,
I
and-
know.
and
You
we're
just-
wondering why we can't see you,
You
but
just
okay.
put us down. You know, you put us
All
down.
right.
You don't love us like you used to.
I
All right, out of Philly, out of the hardcore streets
South
of
Philly.
South Philly. He's a big Ben Simmons fan. He's back the biggest Ben Simmons fan in the world. We have my brother Hype BST. What's up, Hype?
What's up, y'all? This is Hype from the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. BST, that's actually, you said the streets. That's the block. That's B Street. That's my block.
All right, Hype.
But he's definitely, let's get that Ben Simmons thing. No Ben Simmons pumping this way. We should have got rid of that bum when we got the number one pick.
All right, well, hold on, Hype. We know you love him, and we know we want everybody in America to know just how much you love him. But last and certainly not least, we have returning the lieutenant colonel. So we got a salute. We have brother James Sears out of D.C., Alexandria, Virginia, and all things DMV. What's up, Jay Sears?
Yo, let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we got to talk about all this movement in college football. You have Ed Oregon down in LSU. He gets kicked out the door.
Guam.
And then you have the cat at USC. He gets kicked out of the door partway through the season. But then you got two high-profile coaches. You got Lincoln Riley out of Oklahoma, who goes to USC, and then you have Brian Kelly out of Notre Dame. One of those, what I would consider one of those outstanding jobs, one of those iconic jobs. But he broke out and went to LSU. So first and foremost, straight up out of Philly, what do you think the problem is, man? What's going on? What's all this movement about?
Lincoln Riley, they said, was scared of the SEC. They said he was against Oklahoma going to the SEC because he didn't want to get down there. His pass happy football, and the SEC is big defenses, run heavy, all about the D line, the O line.
So you think
Brian
actually
Kelly
Lincoln Riley was scared going from the Big 12 to the SEC? You think he was scared?
When was the last time the Big 12 had a good defense? It was Oklahoma in 2000, probably. Roy Williams and Teddy Lehman and those guys.
Okay.
Big 12 ain't had a defense in decades. And
Hey, man,
Brian
I
Kelly,
don't
you
know.
see, that came down to what you say?
I said, I don't know now. You know, you got some ballers over in the Big 12, man. You got some
good
serious ballers.
individuals. You got good individual players. You don't have a good unit though anywhere.
Okay. All right. Well, Miss Kelly out of the undefeated. What you think? Why is there so much movement in college football amongst the coaches?
I really think that coaches are starting to make their moves and make them quicker. I think they're doing the millennial thing. Sorry if millennials are listening, but they'll get some wins, stay 1 or 2 years, and they bounce. You know, I think they're looking at other options and they're weighing their options because if you think about it, a lot of coaches, they know their time is limited. So I think they're just playing Monopoly when they can.
Well, let me ask you this, and I'll pose this to Lieutenant Colonel. How much of an impact do you think this name, image, and likeness issues are having when it comes to the college football and these coaches changing from these big programs to others?
Yeah, I don't think it has a lot to do with the coaches changing. It has to do with the players staying maybe a little longer, especially the second, I would say maybe the B-tier players are staying a little longer so they can get money, but the coaches are moving because of money.
Okay.
Follow the money, baby. You leave Notre Dame and go to LSU because they're going to pay you a little more money.
Yeah, to the tune of $9.5 million a season.
Let's just get it together. Y'all about to follow the money. There's nothing else going on but pay me.
Now, why would Lincoln Riley go from Oklahoma, a storied program such as that?
Hold on. I just heard Brian Kelly. Hold on. I just heard Brian Kelly if they win the national championship, he gets $15 million a season for that season.
Wow.
Incentives and money. But some are moving for money, and they're moving for money and control. A little more control.
Okay, so Lincoln Riley, him leaving Oklahoma, you believe that was about control, or you believe it was about money or prestige?
I think both and prestige. But listen, you can't get inside of these guys' heads sometimes. Sometimes they get in a situation with when I look at your university, one of the best coaches you've had didn't get along with the president.
Right.
You know, and so the personality things we can't always see from where we sit. But these coaches are prima donnas, and they can move and ebb and flow. And if they don't like a situation, bounce.
15% of all players in college football are in the transfer portal. Do you think that has any impact? Because the players are moving, the players are trying to put themselves in better position. Do you see coaches doing the same thing? Do you see coaches saying, you know what, I'm going to stay ahead of the guillotine, or I'm going to put myself in a better position as it relates to recruiting and so on and so forth?
Let me go first. Let me tell you something. I think the 15% is underestimation.
Okay.
I think it's up around 30.
Okay.
But really 15% are moving because they're good enough to move. But really, every single player that is at a smaller school is looking to bounce up to a bigger school. And every single school that's not playing in the transfer portal is losing. Check Clemson. 0 players transferred to Clemson, 0 in the transfer portal. They've lost about 80. And where did they end up? If you're not in the transfer portal, you're losing.
Wow. Kelly, what you got there? You think anything? You think the 15% players that are currently in the transfer portal have anything to do with these coaches moving?
A little, but I think players want to establish their own sense of running their own lives, making their own decisions, and seeing what's out there and what's available to them. So I think it's a combination of a few things, and that's one.
I think that the branding element and aspect of both the players as well, trio of things, the players, the coaches, as well as the school, all of them have brands that they're concerned about first and foremost. And I think that has a lot to do with it, because that's what it's all about now. Right. It's all about the branding. These schools and these programs have cultures, and they have national perceptions of them. And as a coach looks at it relative to his own status, and in addition to money, now don't ever underestimate the money part of it. Right. But I think the brand and the status, their own personal brands and status, has something to do with it. I want to get back to the NIL and ask y'all real quickly, are you seeing a lot of evidence of participation in this thing? Because I'm not. Are you guys seeing the NIL thing establish itself?
It's kind of still a tricky situation because they really still don't know how to play it. So it's pretty much like, it seems to me like it's really just getting used in recruiting right now. When we could get you an early enrollment, like I can't remember the quarterback's name out of Texas that enrolled in Ohio State early. You could leave your senior year, come down here, and you already making damn near $1 million. Or you can sit in class for free. I mean, it's an obvious choice of which one you're going to go with. Something else that y'all touched on too with the transfer portal. Look at no further than Michigan State. Michigan State was what, 2-7, 3-7 or something like that last year because they didn't play the whole allotment of games. They got 42 transfers this year. Completely changes their whole season, and now Mel Tucker's making $95 a year.
Wow.
Like, and Mel Tucker, when they got Mel Tucker, he was an under 500 coach from Colorado when they got him to Michigan State. So 1 year in the transfer portal, get 40 players, which is a whole new football team, because you can't even play all 40 players.
Right.
And you see how quickly things turn around.
Well, listen. We're going to come back with more from our Street Talk panel.
Okay.
We have Hype from Philly, Kelly from DC, from Memphis, actually. And then you have Brother James Sears out of the DMV. Listen, we're going to be right back with more on R&R on Sports. So stay right there. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back after this.
Black Nerd Power.
I love games, board games, comics, beautiful things that portray black girls as soft and whimsical and cotton candy flowers. And so that is what I bring to the show, as well as cuss words for these raggedy when they need them.
Oh my
Such
goodness.
as this raggedy that we getting ready to introduce you to right now.
Oh my
this red
goodness.
fox looking,
Oh.
this bald head, confident talking about Richard Douglas Jones.
My goodness, this is the best, worst intro I've ever had in my life, ladies and gentlemen. Black Nerd Power on the Kadzukian Network.
Back for more R&R on Sports. Back. Knew that was coming. Okay, so Kelly, talk to us about your thoughts on the NIL.
For me, I can't leave out that really benefited a lot of HBCU athletes. After July 1st, you had a few players that signed huge deals. I think Hersey Miller, Master signed
TSU.
But other than that one, name a couple more.
Well, the Sanders boys, they signed deals down in Jackson State.
Yeah, but
you're only gonna have a few HBCU students.
Who signed something worthwhile whose daddy wasn't? Yeah.
Well, 5 Jackson State players signed, and that's pretty good, I think.
Well, I want to talk about Ozzie Fudd. Ozzie Fudd signed a tremendous deal with Under Armour under the Steph Curry initiative.
This Elman's baby.
No, this is the starting point guard for UConn, man, the best player in the country last year. So, I mean, literally, you talking about one of the top players, and I want to say it kind of reminds me of the Darius Brazley deal that Rich Paul constructed with New Balance, in that they kind of bring them in, do a lot of the other soft skill kinds of approach, financial education, working with different designers. There's a whole lot of things that are around the basketball and the business of basketball, business of sports, that I think that I think makes it attractive for these young people to jump in.
But here's what I wanted to do. Here's what I wanted to. I wanted to trickle down such that it doesn't matter what your last name is or your daddy's name is or whatever, especially as it regards HBCUs. And the other thing I want to make sure that happens is that it is as broad spread across sports for HBCUs as it is PWIs.
Well, I think you're going to have a hard time making that comparison, because PWIs obviously have the tremendous boosters in many situations, and HBCUs are woefully underfunded. So especially your athletics programs in many cases. So I think with the increased attention that Deion Sanders brings to the HBCU sports complex, I think you will begin to see more NIL deals happening. Because, I mean, you have the Twins that's out in LA that's playing volleyball that's got big deals. You got some of the SEC volleyball players that are doing big deals. You got many football, basketball players. And I'm sure you're going to see even right here in Memphis.
You got swimmers,
with
you got
Jalen
track
Duren.
athletes.
With Jalen Duren and Amani Bates. I'm sure you're going to see here and even in Memphis where you're going to start to see these types of NIL deals. I think people are still kind of testing the waters. Hype, I know you had something to say a second ago.
Something that Kelly was touching on as far as the HBCUs. I can remember a couple of years ago, it was the Rose Bowl. One of the players says, "Coach just got a $500,000 bonus for us winning this game. The school got $20 million for us playing in this game, and I get a T-shirt." So even if we're talking, we take it to the HBCU level, which, like you're saying, is underfunded. They're not the top ranked teams, and they're not the PWIs. even if this guy's going to get an extra $2,000, if he don't get an extra $3,000, it's better than him having nothing.
Right.
Because
totally
for years it's been they're making $11 million off Terrell Pryor's jersey, but he sells a ring in a game that he won and he gets suspended.
Right.
How does that equate? Like, I'm sure that's happening at every school. When Bruce Eugene was at Grambling, I'm sure they were selling Bruce Eugene jerseys down at Grambling to take it back to the HBCU. That he wasn't getting a quarter out of that money.
Right. And in addition,
well, listen, this is Iron on Sports, and we're speaking with panelists from all over the country in our Street Talk segment. We have Kelly Evans out of DC, James Sears out of DMV, as well as Hype BST out of the Philly. He's a Philly bully over there, man. So we were Kelly, you were saying something around NIL
before you stepped
I was just adding to everybody that I think after the pandemic we'll see the pickup, because all this started within the national pandemic, and I think we'll hear more.
All right.
Whenever that is, huh? Whenever after the pandemic.
As Omicron starts to pick up speed. Well, listen, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the NBA. Now, something that's kind of interesting to me when you start looking at the young man, Zion Williamson, number 1 pick in the draft, all world everything. However, he's been mired with injuries. And now his latest injury is a knee injury. So obviously has not been able to get out and work out as much. And the brother has ballooned to well over what it looks like, around 300 so pounds. Now, the challenge I have is Charles Barkley. Now, remind you guys, Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound. Talking about anybody's weight is really got me feeling some kind of way. So let me ask you this. If Zion was a female professional athlete, would he be personally, persecuted for his weight on national television? James, what you got?
Absolutely not. I mean, if he was, that person would be gone that night.
So if his name was Zayina, you think that person would not have touched their weight at all?
At all.
All right. Kelly, you want to ring in on that?
I don't know, because to me, in my opinion, women athletes are more under the microscope when they gain weight or lose weight.
You talking about Serena?
Yeah, Serena, she's been under the microscope. A lot of soccer players, a lot of track stars. A lot of these women have bulimia and suffer from eating disorders because of this thing they have to stay smaller, stay thin, and not be bigger women within their respective sports. So I think that women have been under the microscope for so long, and men have not been personally. I mean, football players are, depending on what they do, they're naturally larger than some others. In basketball, you don't see it so much. You usually see it
outside of the Miami Heat. You got the only ones that's really talking about players playing weight and coming into training camp.
But I think that points out the depth of the hypocrisy and the double standard. I mean, nobody would say it to answer your question.
Well, I mean, obviously people are saying it. They talk about Serena. They talk about Serena's weight.
They're basically not saying it inside one of these things. They're saying it off mic. They're saying, but we know it's there. Right. I mean, and they might be saying it in social media and stuff. But I think that you're exactly right, Kelly. Women have been dealing with this for many, many years. And but, nobody will endeavor to say it publicly like, they would with Charles. So I think that's the thing. But should anybody be saying it, period, whether it's about Zion or Serena?
Hi.
All right. So Charles Barkley is qualified. Excuse me. Charles Barkley is qualified to speak on this because he tells the story all the time about Moses told him, "Why am I not playing well? Because you fat and you lazy." Why is Zion never there? You forgot the 2 injuries. He has a broken attitude and a broken mentality. He is not looking at this like it is a job, like it is serious, like it's not play AAU games. It is come be in shape.
Now
Like,
wait a minute.
even
The
if
cat
you're
the
injured.
cat's injured. Hype. How you gonna say that he's not looking at it or how he's looking at it?
How do you continue to get injured is because you're not in shape. You're not ready to play. Your body continues to break down on you because you came unprepared for the job.
Okay, wait a minute. Now you had Kevin Durant who was injured every year. You got Kyrie Irving that's injured every year. You got Chris Paul who literally up until last year was injured every year. So I'm trying to figure out why is he so much different as far as his injuries.
I got you. I got you.
Go ahead.
I want to get to the woman thing too, but I got you. Kevin Durant got hurt the one time with the broken foot, and then he popped an Achilles. Nothing you could do about that. Kyrie Irving is another one who
Kevin
obviously
Durant
is
has
not
not played a
prepared.
whole season, but go ahead. Finish.
Kyrie Irving gets hurt every year, like you were saying. You're not prepared. You can't get hurt every year if you're prepared. Chris Paul, all those years on the Clippers, him and Blake Griffin, they break down every year in the playoffs. Why did they keep
Houston.
moving it? It's because they both kept getting hurt. To take it to the woman's thing that we were comparing this to, like, they never talk down or demean these female athletes. Nobody says, like, hey, Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, two of the greatest ever. Candace Parker, one of the greatest ever. They're never going to tell you that they're not still playing at the same level that they were 5-10 years ago. They're going to just continue to tell you how great they are. When, if you take it to Carmelo, they've been killing Carmelo for years. When Dwayne Wade was out there, they was killing Dwayne Wade. When Kobe came off the Achilles, they was killing Kobe.
So it's
Now
a
they're
double
starting to look
standard.
at LeBron. It's a complete double standard. Serena, they'll say, is a bigger, more muscular because she's compared to girls who are usually in like the 110, 120 range. And physically, she's just much bigger than that, which is why she can dominate her sport. They're
So,
never
Brother
going to
Sid.
say, like, huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Yeah, they're never going to say, like, Serena is just more muscular, more athletic, and better built for the sport. Because if they say that, then that demeans the other 7,000 girls who cannot look like her.
So, Brother Sis, do you agree that the cause of so many injuries is being out of shape and unprepared?
It's the cause of the majority of the injuries, yes. Some of them are freak things that happen. Like Kevin Durant was not out of shape when he got hurt. But I'm just gonna tell you, everything you said was I'm rocking with it, minus the Kyrie Irving. That brother doesn't want to play.
He got another issue.
That ain't got nothing to do with injury. This kid, look, I've been in the military for a long time. We got two type of people in the military: people that give you the maximum and people that give you the minimum. And Kyrie wants to give you the minimum so he can get a championship. He is sitting out this year because of COVID. When the Capitol insurrection happened, he was distraught and didn't play that night. What? Kyrie, every time I turn around, Kyrie's got a reason why he's not playing at the start of a season.
All right, well, hold on for a second, Sears. Hype, I gotta give you a chance to talk about Ben Simmons because I don't want to leave it on you that you his #1 fan.
All right, so again, this is one of the things I always tell people in podcasting. If you don't listen to your own episodes, how do you plan on getting any better? Ben Simmons has been in the NBA for 5 years and has not gotten better at one aspect of the game of basketball in those 5 years. The first 3 games I saw him play, I told my brother, I don't know if he's left-handed or right-handed because I've never seen him take a shot. Not a floater, not a layup. It's either a dunk or it's one of those goofy right-hand floaters that look terrible.
You got to get there
This
early
dude-
doing warm-ups.
Boy, this dude is garbage, like unheard of garbage. But at the same time, I will let him rot on that bench before I trade him for 3 role players.
I
We
agree
can either
totally.
get something. We can either get something substantial for you, or you are retired.
Right. All right, Kelly, we got you. The last word of the Street Talk segment. What you got?
I go back to my norm. I think I'm gonna stick with your boy
Okay. Who you
Ben.
got?
I'm gonna stick with your boy Ben since we're already there.
Okay.
And I will say I think little buddy is a bit coddled. If you take it back to one and done and kind of look at that, he's a freaking brat.
Hey man, they said a lot of that at LSU. He was having a lot of problems at LSU.
He's a brat. I think he's a talented kid, but I think he's also a brat. I think he's used to being coddled. I interviewed his sister when One and Done came out. I did a profile on Liv, and she's had a few troubles herself with the family. But aside from even just speaking to her and getting a little bit of inside knowledge, just me watching the film and reading a lot and studying up on that family, he's a brat.
Y'all listen to Kelly. Y'all listen to Kelly. Ben, a.k.a. Da Brat. Thank y'all for being with us yet again on Street Talk. We appreciate having you, your presence, your perspective, and ask you to come back and join us at some future point. Y'all take care. Have wonderful holidays. And y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. The phone rings. Your answer is yes. Got it? All right,
Sir. Kelly, Lieutenant Colonel, and Hype, thank you so much for being on Street Talk. Listen, we're going to be right back. And don't go nowhere because we have some parting shots after this.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, now I'm going to say my friend, Jonathan Capehart.
You came up and tapped me on my shoulder and you said, I'm a big fan. My name's Kirk Whalum. And I just about jumped out of my skin because I was like, wait, Kirk Whalum is saying hi to me? He's a fan of mine? Get out of here.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
Back for more R&R as we head toward the door.
Peace.
So
Arrivederci.
We always say
Auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah, that and other ways of saying goodbye to those who have gone on to the next level. And we cannot end the show, obviously, without saying farewell to a man that was tremendous for the sport of golf and to the sport of golf. His name is Lee Elder. And I'm gonna tell you, man, my initial thoughts when I was growing up as a kid in the 50s and 60s, Lee Elder was one of the ones that the elders, your father and your grandfather, uncle, or somebody in the neighborhood told you about. If they saw that you had any kind of interest in golf, as you were sitting there watching, some of the other great Arnold Palmer and such, they would tell you, boy, let me tell you somebody who can really play golf. And they would talk about Lee Elder.
Just imagine the level of play that he had to exhibit. He and Calvin Peete, they had to be just extraordinary to get their tour card. But you know what? I got another shout out.
Used to get anonymous phone calls saying, boy, you'll never make it to the tee box. We're going to make sure you
never make it. First African-American to play in the Masters. But listen, I got another shout out to something that's lost and long gone.
What?
We need to find it.
Something.
We need to find him.
What?
James Brown's hairline. James Brown's hairline is missing. We need an all points bulletin on James Brown. It's not missing. It's just leaving it
wherever they draw it.
I'm trying to figure out all of those makeup artists, all of those hairstylist people. This brother got the worst Beijing. Marker. They got the worst Beijing job in history. James Brown, you and LeBron, please, y'all killing the black man. Y'all killing the black man publicly. Can y'all please just let it go? Now I know James Brown, your head is gonna look like a thumb.
It's blacker than it was when it was black. And that's been a long time.
He's gonna look like Mr. Potato Head, but I still would rather him let it go. Because that looks crazy.
But you can find this wherever they drew it. All right. Producer's in there doing something with his finger, and I ain't looked at which finger it is, so we got to go. We appreciate you being with us here, as always, on R&R on Sports. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be back with us next week for more. Don't miss our show, please.
Don't. If you do, go to the podcast, check it out. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, wherever podcasts, where you listen to your podcast, check us out. R&R on Sports.
That's it. All I got to say.
We out.
Bye.
You've been listening to a little R&R on Sports, written and produced by Howard Robertson, Larry Robinson, recorded and mixed in Memphis, Tennessee.